Okay, I'm back, y'all, in Divinely Grateful Risings. How are y'all doing today? I hope you're having a fantastic day. Child, I probably need to put it on the charger, don't it? I hope y'all are doing well. I hope you're feeling good. Happy Sunday, y'all. Happy Sunday. I am on to do a quick message. I went ahead and just did this as a live. That way I can download it and then upload it on my other channels. But I just want to come and tap in with y'all because I had said the other day that I was going to start back going live. So I am. So I just want to tap in with y'all real quick. I did a video the other day or last night, and then I came on just briefly the other day. Man, just to get myself back out there. I hope y'all are doing well. I hope you've been well. Y'all know I've been MIA for a couple of months as the Lord has been preparing me and putting me in position for where he has me. But it's a lot happening, y'all. I have a lot going on, but I am getting back into the schedule of going live. I don't know what time. So today I just so happen to have time. Because my clothes are in the washer, right? My clothes were in the dryer, so I have a few minutes. So I said, let me go ahead and drop this message on here. Oh my gosh, y'all, so much has happened. I just happened to, hey Styles, hey Honey Bunny. Y'all, look, I just happened to click looking for a recipe and you showed up. It was really random that Spirit and them told me to go ahead and come live because I have like 40 minutes while my clothes are in the dryer. So I just decided to go ahead and do it because I knew I wanted to go live today. But I hadn't been, man, I've been busy, y'all. I've been busy, but I've been off this week. I'm off this weekend. And so, y'all, so much has happened. And so, thank y'all for tapping in with me today. Y'all, come in, like the live, share the love. Drop something in the chat that you're grateful for. Let's get in the flow of abundance. And happy Sunday, y'all. Happy November. I know that I didn't even realize the time went back today. Child, it was so much. It's so much. So, I know I gave y'all an update last week. I think it was. I did a video last week or a quick live and just told y'all the blessings, the things that, man, you know, the Lord is showing up in my life in a mighty and miraculous way. So much has changed for me. So many things are different. I think if you've seen the video that I posted last night or either last week when I went live for a minute, y'all know God has finally blessed me with a place to stay. So I moved into my apartment last week. So I've been in about a week now, and it literally was overnight. And so he told me that when he blessed me with somewhere to stay, that my assignment was going to be to start back going live. Hold on, y'all, because I don't want my phone to overheat, and the sun is sunning today, but we receive it, Lord. We receive the sun, but I don't want my phone to overheat. So thank you so much, dearest one. Y'all know it's been a long time coming. Thank you so much for the follow, Nicole. How you doing, honey bunny? It's been a long time coming. 2.5 years the Lord had me in the ark, right, in this car, and so he finally blessed me with a place to stay last week. I'm so excited. It's still coming together. I still have stuff I gotta get. I can't wait, y'all. I have washer and dryer hookup, so baby, I can't wait to get a washer and dryer. That's like my next thing that I have to work on. But I did receive the instruction to start back going live, to start back sharing the story, to kind of pick up where I left off. So many things have happened for me in this transition to where it almost was overwhelming to a point, because I know for those of you who have been with me on this journey, it seemed like the part of the journey when I was in the car was never going to end. And almost it was like immediately when we hear about the suddenlies that happened, and God can change your situation around in a moment's notice, in a moment's time, overnight, whatever you want to call it. It is a true story, y'all. And that literally happened for me. One day I was still, I was in an Airbnb at the time when I first got back to Alabama. Y'all know I was staying with my stepson. Shout out to my stepson. I love him so much. He allowed me. I didn't even know where I was going to stay when I got here, right? I feel like I kind of have to backtrack a little bit for those who are new to this leg of the journey. And you haven't been on this journey with us, y'all. Come on, Spirit, if you haven't been on the journey, it kind of culminated back in March. To where, not in March, in May. Y'all know I went to North Carolina. I saw my son graduate. My car was broke down. I left it in California. And then, so there's so much that has happened in the span of these 4 months. And now that the Lord has given me the instruction to share it, let me just kind of catch y'all up on some things, because we're kind of picking up and moving forward. And this is not just in my life, this is in everybody's life, right? Wherever you picked up on this journey, wherever you tapped in with us, it's kind of like, for some, it's been a move in silent season. Hey, Jay Kazi, hey, dearest one. I was moving in silence for a few months, and so now that the Lord has given me the okay to start back telling the story, we in this thing. So I'm going to kind of start with June and try to just give a recap of things that are happening, and I hope that you'll be able to put yourself on your own timeline and just kind of see how things will play out for you, because y'all know we are in this together. So some of y'all, you may have been in your own season where you ain't really been showing up the same way. It was like the more y'all I tried to come on and do live, the more the Lord was like, that ain't what I want you to do right now. Hey, dears. Hey, Ramada Neon. What you guys doing? And I was trying. When I first got here, y'all know I was trying to go live. I was trying to, and the Lord was like, that ain't where he had me. And so just a quick recap, y'all know my car broke down, and I was living in my car at the time. My car broke down Memorial Day weekend. I was still in San Diego. And a week later, we had to go to North Carolina to see my son graduate. And so the Lord made a way for me and my daughter to not only get to North Carolina, he also blessed me with the resources. It was like supernatural resources, y'all, to where I was able to rent a house for us to stay in North Carolina. I think I told y'all this back then. In my journal, the Lord had already told me that he was getting ready to move me, and he told me I was coming back to Alabama. And so he even told me the city that I was going to be living in, y'all. Like, I knew all of it. So we get to North Carolina, my son graduates, and when we were in North Carolina, the Lord told me that I was going back to California, but then I was going to be leaving almost immediately. Y'all know when I start getting the number 1213 or Genesis 12, 1 through 3, I know that I'm on the move. I know the Lord is getting ready to move me in some sort of way. And sure enough, there was a rainbow that confirmed that. If y'all remember that story that I ended up seeing in North Carolina, he confirmed it. So me, my son, my daughter flew back to California, and within a week's time, the Lord was like, it's time to go. Y'all know I had no intentions of coming back to Alabama, but that's where the Lord wanted me. I understand it now, or learning to understand it. And a week later, he put me on a plane. He provided the resources for me to get here. I had no money. My car was in the shop in California. I had no money. And he literally told me to go live. I went live, and he touched somebody's heart to be a blessing to me that morning. And I ended up getting a plane ticket to Alabama. My car was still in the shop at the time. He told me to tell the people in them to fix it, so I did. And so I had no idea. I said it's going to be a blessing for somebody else because I had surrendered it. And so the next day I got on the plane. It was like that quick of a turnaround, y'all, to where I had a flight the next day. Man, it's so crazy. So then I'm in the air. I'm flying to Alabama, and I had no idea where I was going to stay. So I got the instruction from Spirit to, call my stepson and like, hey, I know this is last minute. No one had any idea that I was coming to Alabama except for my dad, my stepdad, Vernell. Hey, Vernell. And so it wasn't until I touched down in Alabama that the Lord told me who to call in order to get a place to stay. So my stepson, who he had just blessed with a new house, he allowed me to stay there. I stayed there for maybe about a month and a half, y'all. And then I ended up going to another place. It's a story for another day. I ended up going to another place and kind of living with somebody for about a month. Then I got an Airbnb, and then I was back there again. And then I ended up getting another Airbnb. And then the Lord blessed me with somewhere to stay. In all of this time, Since I got here, the Lord told me I was going back to work. For those of you who dropped this in the chat, God provides, right? Jehovah Jireh, the Lord will provide. He told me I was going back to work. He told me who to call. He told, and sure enough, y'all, I called the person that he tells me to call, and they had an opening at the job where I worked last, because this is stuff that I can tell because the Lord has already put this in. This is already a done deal. The last job that I had when I was here in Alabama hired me back at a lower position. Come on, guys. So let's talk about how sometimes the Lord will put you in a lower position so that you can have more respect and understanding for where he's taking you. So once again, he put me, when I was here before, I was a nurse, right? I was a registered nurse, but he hired me into a job at the lowest position that you could have at this job. And so, I called my supervisor and I'm like, hey, you know, are y'all hiring? She said, yeah. She was like, but you got to talk to the director. I'm like, okay, cool. So 10 minutes later, I get a text back and she's like, and my supervisor's like, hey, director want to see you tomorrow. I'm like, okay. I call my dad. My dad takes the next day. My dad takes me to the job. My director hires me on the spot for this position. It was a night shift position. That was what they had. Hired me on the spot. I hadn't even done an application yet, y'all. It was literally like, go home and put the application in. I will tell HR to be looking for it. Cool. While I'm in the meeting with her, the dealership from San Diego calls me and tells me that they found some program to help pay for my car to get fixed. Because again, no money, right? So it took off half of what it was going to cost for me to get my car fixed. So I'm in the car with my dad and I'm like, you know, hey, I got a job now. You know, if you let me borrow this money, then I'll pay you back. I'm good for it. Y'all, my dad let me borrow the money to not only get the car fixed, he got me it was enough to get a plane ticket to fly back to California, and he gave me gas money to drive back to Alabama. Cool. So the next, like a couple days later, I leave. I had only been here a couple of weeks. I fly back to California. I pick up my car. I drive back to Alabama. So now I get back, and I got back on like a Saturday, I think. I think it was like Saturday when I got back. And so I had to be back for Monday because I had to start doing my onboarding stuff and start my job. Cool. So I do that, and now I'm working. A few days before I'm getting ready to start working, my director, my supervisor calls me and says, hey, I have a day shift position. So now, instead of me being on nights, I have a day shift position. Cool. So I start working. That's pretty much all I had been doing. Everything's good. So fast forward, you know, I'm working and I'm like, okay, you know, I got to build, I got to rebuild, I got to, you know, what am I going to do next? Come on, FedEx. Somebody may be getting a special delivery. That's the second time I done got that today. Okay, I'm back. So I'm at work, y'all, maybe about a week or so. And immediately I said, oh, this ain't what I'm supposed to be doing. I was like, I'm supposed to be upgrading. Y'all, kid you not, I found an online program through my supervisor. I asked my supervisor about it, found an online program to where I was able to test to get my CNA online. Took a week. So for those of you who, like I said, y'all know I'm a registered nurse. So first time I went to nursing school, I was an LPN and I went to RN. This time the Lord has taken me from CNA to RN. Cool. So I found get this program, supported a small business here in Alabama, went on, did the program within a week's time because it's information I already know. Did that, took the test on the end of September, get my CNA. My job transitions me from basically one thing to CNA. Now I'm working as a CNA. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm like, well, what's next, Lord? And the Lord was like, it's time to find somewhere to stay. And I had kind of been lax about it and it was like he had to light a fire up under me. So sure enough, y'all, I end up start looking for apartments. Well, the first one I found, I ended up applying for an apartment. Long story short, they denied me because I was making too much money. And because I've been working a lot of overtime. Cool. So I was like, man, that's messed up. So I kind of fell back from it again. Y'all, fast forward to 2 weeks ago, I had one decision. So for some of you, the reason the Lord is telling me to tell this part of the story is because there is one decision that you're going to make that is going to change your life. And it's because some of you, come on God, for some of you, it's you experiencing something, and it may even feel like it's a repeat of something you've done before. But there's a lesson in it that you have to learn. For me, it was boundaries. For me, it was really understanding that I'm worth more message, that I'm worth more than than how I was being treated. So for some of you, this is going to be a reflection of relationships that have served their purpose. I'm telling y'all right now that many of you are breaking soul contracts, soul ties. You are ending cycles that could be up to 10 years old. For some of you, y'all know we talk about cutting cords and releasing energy. For some of you, you're getting ready to cut a cord, a spiritual connection with people, places, and things that you didn't even realize that you were attached to, that have been holding you back, and maybe you weren't even aware. But this is going, come on God, this is going to be your final test in releasing something, because when you release this thing, drop it in the chat, I release this. When you release this thing, you're going to start seeing blessings flow into your life in a way that you cannot imagine. Y'all, when I tell you it was one decision, I made it on a Tuesday night. I didn't have any money. The Lord told me it was time to go. He told me it was time to release this cycle. And y'all, that night I was laying in the bed. Some of y'all, look, because I'm going to tell the truth and shame, I'm going to tell it. Some of you, you're releasing people who are emotionally manipulative. Story for another day, but we're going to talk about it. You're going to be releasing people who are emotionally manipulating you, who are trying to make you keep yourself small. You're going to be releasing narcissists in your life. You're going to be releasing things because you have done too much work on yourself. Hey, sis. Y'all, shout out to my sister. That's Slimmy. That's my sister, y'all. You're going to be releasing people, places, and things, but I'm going to focus on people for the most part, because some of you, there are people who you need to release, and you're going to release somebody and you're going to start seeing blessings flow into your life. And I mean immediately, baby. It ain't going to be no line, no waiting, no delay. You are going to recognize that there are certain people, you know, we hear this, look, come on God, we hear this. We hear it, y'all, where there are people, there are entities, there are demons that are sent into your life to keep you stuck, to keep you small, and to keep you from moving forward. I was dealing with this, y'all. No disrespect to said person, but I know what it is. Drop it in the chat. I know what it is. So not recognize it took me a minute, because I kept on trying to. Some of you, look, that's a whole nother message. Some of you are going to recognize that you got to stop living for somebody's potential, and it's like you're dealing with somebody based on potential. But when somebody shows up and shows you who they are, you have to believe it. So you're going to release a connection that is keeping you stuck. For some of you, you know exactly who this is in your life. You know how they are keeping you back, because what you're going to realize is that you started putting yourself last instead of first. You were people pleasing. No people pleasing this season, right? You're going to recognize that you've been people pleasing. You've been doing everything, and this is including giving to your detriment, right? You giving to other folks so much that you don't have nothing left from yourself. It's that pouring from an empty cup, because you are looking at someone's potential instead of their reality. Some of you may find that you feel like you are moving backwards. And the one thing the Lord kept telling me is, this ain't what you prayed for. You right. This ain't what you prayed for. So the Lord told me this, y'all. It was a Tuesday night. I didn't have the money. I didn't have it, y'all. When I tell you that the Lord made a way, I end up borrowing money from my sister. I ended up borrowing from another place. I booked an Airbnb, and within 30 minutes, y'all, I got an increase. I got favor. The Lord blessed me with resources for me to get from that day to my next payday. This is, y'all, this is the week of the 23rd, okay? The week of the 23rd. So I leave, I cut the connection, I move on. Hey, dearest one, hey, Sandy. I move on to I move to the Airbnb. Y'all, the next day I'm sitting at work and I heard the Lord say, go on. He told me to go on this particular app and he said, apply. And I'm like, what? Now, mind y'all, I just filed bankruptcy at the end of August, right? So when some of you, come on, God, some of you are stepping into a Jubilee year. If you don't know what that is, you can go read about it in the book of Leviticus, okay? You are stepping into a Jubilee year, which means when the Lord says that he will give you a blank slate, a fresh start, he will completely restart and reset your life. That is what happens, y'all. And so I've been getting the word Jubilee since May. So the next day, so mind you, I have nothing on my credit at this point, y'all, because I have filed bankruptcy. First time in my life, I filed bankruptcy. So I filed bankruptcy. Instead of my credit score going down, it went up. Everything gone off my credit report. Everything, y'all. The Lord had me start accounts to where I'm saving money, but it's also helping me build my credit. For those of you who have been with me this long, you know this is something I talked about several years ago when I was on the path of getting myself together and then ended up getting myself messed up. So that's the only thing on my credit at this point. So instead of my credit score going down, my credit score goes up. I'm like, okay. I go on this app, the Lord tells me to apply for a credit card. So for some of you, this is about, the Lord is going to give you an instruction and you need to do that thing because it's going to benefit you and it's how he's going to begin to take care of you in the ways that you can't even foresee. So I apply for this credit card, y'all, instantly get approved. I'm like, what? Okay, Lord, cool. Get the credit card. So then the Lord reminds me of an email for this apartment that I had looked at, y'all. And I go and look at it, and they had everything that was necessary, all the qualifications for the apartment. I'm like, okay, cool. I hear the Lord say, apply. I had $60 to my name. I get to the Airbnb that night. I applied, $50 application fee. I applied for it. And I say, well, Lord, and this is in my journal, y'all. I was like, well, Lord, it's either your yes or your no. Cool. The next day, I get a notification that says that they're trying to verify my income. Cool. So I end up uploading a check stub. Mind you, my check stub only reflects my old pay. At this time, I'm now making pay as a CNA. Cool. So I checked with them to make sure that it was legit. She said it was. I'm like, all right, bet. So then fast forward to Friday, I was like, I'm at work and mind y'all, in the process of this, I completely lose my voice, y'all. I lost my voice. Could not talk. I'm still at work, had no voice, nothing. Friday, I'm at work and I get a call from this apartment complex and she told me she was not going to be able to call. She wouldn't call me back until Friday. And she was like, did you hear from anyone? And I was like, no, I hadn't heard anything. And she said, well, they didn't tell you that you were approved? I said, what? You're approved. The Lord, within 2 days' time, y'all, the Lord blesses me with this apartment. I'm tripping because I'm like, no, it can't, this can't be right. This can't be. I'm like, Lord, are you serious? I was approved for the apartment. When I tell you that God don't care nothing about your credit, when I tell you, you hear, come on, God, you hear these stories where people talk about how their credit score will shoot up miraculously. And you be like, how did the Lord, because I've heard these things, y'all. I can remember watching videos and people talking about the Lord paid my rent and my credit score miraculously went up so I could be approved for this apartment or this or what have you. Y'all, this real deal happened in my life. I'm not making this up. It was like 1 minute my credit score was in the 400s and the next it was in the 600s, y'all. Like, I am not making this up. So it's all of these things that we oftentimes, we see people talking about it. We see these miracles, these things happen, but you never believe. It's like part of us, it's almost hard to believe that it can really happen for you. Y'all, the Lord really did this for me, to the point where I was tripping, because I'm like, there's no way I could have done this on my own. Cool. So they tell me I'm approved. Mind you, y'all, I hadn't even stepped foot in this apartment yet. And I wasn't going to apply, because I was like, Lord, I ain't even seen this apartment. Like, what if I don't like it? The Lord said, apply. I did. And then he said, now, because that I was supposed to be off that Friday, but I ended up going to work extra. He told me to go to work, so I did. So that Monday, I ended up going to look at the apartment. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom apartment, y'all. It ain't no big fancy nothing, but it's great for me, right? So the next part of this that the Lord wants you to understand is that, look at the butterfly. You may not, where you're starting is not where you're going to finish. He may start you out, because I already know that home ownership is still in my plans, but he'll start you out in a place that some people will say, look, that some people will say message, that some people will say, oh, that's it. But baby, let me tell you something. I'm coming from the car, okay? From a car, this car right here, to my own place to stay. It's big enough for me, right? Hey, love. Hey, honey bunny. So I set up Monday. I go view this apartment, y'all. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. It's everything that I could imagine. Like, Lord, thank you. Praise God. So I do the application. So the lady says the only thing that I had to do in order for them to go ahead and generate my lease was get a utility account, get my utilities in my name. So I'm like, okay, Lord, this is a true story, y'all. When I left San Diego, before I filed bankruptcy, I had a utility bill that was on my credit. That was one of the things that the Lord completely discharged off of my credit. And so I do the application. I don't hear anything from the utility company that day. So Tuesday, I follow up with them, and the lady tells me that their machine, whatever system they use in order to run your credit, was not available, and she didn't know when it was coming back up. I was like, okay. She said, but I tell you what, since you're moving in, now mind you, let me give this tidbit. Y'all, when I booked the Airbnb the week before, for whatever, I only had enough, come on God, to get me a week, 8 days. Come on, 8 days in this Airbnb. So I had to check out of this Airbnb on the 23rd of October, right? So when I'm doing the application for the apartment, I put my move-in date for the 24th. I was going to try to do in November. The Lord said, no, the 24th. So I did it for the 24th. So I had already started looking at other Airbnbs that I could go to try to, because I'm like, I got to save some money. You know, I'm going to have this, that, and the third to move in. The Lord said the 24th. I said, okay, Lord, cool. So now fast forward back to the utility company, y'all. The lady says their system is down. She said, but I tell you what we'll do. We'll go ahead and create your account to give you the letter that you need in order to give to your apartment complex so that they can go ahead and generate your lease. She said, and then when the credit system comes back up, we'll go ahead and run it and see what deposit, if any, that you have to pay. I said, what? So she sends me the welcome letter. I forward it to my apartment complex. And so the lady was like, well, when do you want to move in? And I told her the 20th. I said, well, I have to check out of my Airbnb on the 23rd. I said, so if I can move in on the 23rd, that would be great for me. She says, okay, cool. So they generate my lease. So I said, well, what do I need to do? And mind y'all, we do self-scheduling at my job. Do y'all know that the only day that I was off that week was the 23rd. I had done this schedule over 8 weeks ago, because we do when they open the schedule up. So I did this schedule back in August, something like that, on the schedule that we're working on, and the only day that I was off was the 23rd. So the 23rd happens to be the day that I got paid as well. No idea at that time that this is what the Lord was setting me up for. So on the 23rd, I told her, I was like, well, I got to check out. I was like, I'll be there early because I have to check out of the Airbnb. Y'all, I got up. I went to my apartment complex. I paid. Mind you, I end up getting paid 2 days early. So I go to the apartment complex. I pay them the exact amount of my rent was the exact amount that I had to pay to go for the rest of October, plus my deposit. And they gave me my keys that day. That was a week ago on the 23rd, y'all. So I'm telling y'all about blessings because I need you to understand the way that the Lord will move and operate in your life. So fast forward, I'm telling my job, because they know where I'm coming from and what I'm dealing with. I'm telling them that I have, yes, the keys to the kingdom. You better say it. I don't have any cards in here anymore, y'all. My car empty, child. My car is empty for the first time in 2.5 years. So I'm telling my job, the things. I was like, y'all, I just got my apartment. My supervisor calls me and she texts me. She's like, hey, did you get your keys yet? And I was like, so I sent her a picture. I FaceTimed her, and then I ended up sending her a picture of the keys. So they end up about 5 minutes later, she FaceTimes me back. And y'all, my administrative team was in a meeting talking about how they can help me with the things that I need for my house. Y'all, someone is giving me a love seat, a chair for my living room, a bed. Someone purchased me an air fryer. People they bought me dishes. They bought me pots and pans, cups. Y'all, when I tell you that the Lord will put people in your life to bless you, just as he has done for many of you that are on here and that will see this message, y'all have been a blessing in my life. It was through many of you and your donations, your gifts, your blessings that I was able to maintain as long as I did. So once again, when I tell y'all the way that my gratitude is set up, my gratitude is different, y'all, because if it wasn't for the Lord touching people to be a blessing to me, I wouldn't have made it. So as we stand right now, right off the top, I don't have to buy any furniture. I had to buy an air mattress. I'm still on the air mattress because I hadn't arranged yet to be able to get the bed that someone is blessing me with. But when I tell you that through obedience, and we don't always get it right, the Lord will bless you through complete strangers. He will bless you through it will be the craziest thing. You'll be thinking you have to do something, and the Lord will just show up and be like, I already took care of this. I already got it. I need you to stop worrying. I need you to focus on what I told you to do. Y'all, so many things are flowing into my life as a result of one decision. And it's knowing who you are and whose you are. I cannot make this up. I want this story, this journey to encourage somebody. And I don't have everything. Like I said, I still got to get a washer and dryer. I still got to get, dressers and end tables, and look, I still got to get things. But when I tell you that the Lord will bless you, y'all, he will give you every single thing that you think that you need. The Lord already knows what we need, y'all. Thank y'all so much for the gifts. He will give you everything that you need. And it was like, y'all, the blessings started coming in so fast that I felt like I couldn't even keep up. All of this to say, this is my testimony. This is my story, a continuation of the journey. And it speaks to sometimes you stay in a situation. For me, it was 2.5 years that I had to live at the lowest in order for me to start to receive the blessings, to receive the harvest, to receive the opportunities. In the mean and in between time, y'all, I get the apartment the next week. My manager is like, hey, what about working Monday through Friday, off on weekends? Like, what? So I get a permanent position at my job within a couple of months of me being there. I don't have anything to take credit for, y'all, because all of this is God's doing. Mind you, there's so many things that God will do in our lives if we will just follow his plan instead of our plan. Message. Once I started following God's plan, now mind you, don't get it twisted, because your girl's still going through warfare. My car's still doing crazy stuff, y'all. Y'all hear it honking. My car's still doing crazy stuff. I got to get tires on my car. Like, all kind of stuff is still happening. So the warfare did not stop. But what I know is, as I've always said, there's nothing that comes up against us that God does not allow. And he has to see, yes, it's honking on its own. It chirping 5 times, chirping 1 time. Like, the car is running because I have the air conditioner on. But the car y'all, my car has been doing crazy stuff since I got it back. But I tell you that when it first started doing this, I felt like I was just like, okay, it didn't make me spiral out of control. It didn't make me like get all frazzled and all of that, because when you start to have faith and trust in the Lord and just know that, okay, Lord, if you're going to take this, you're going to bless me with something better, I just don't worry about it anymore. I'll be like, well, Lord, do what you're going to do. There are other things which I'm not going to quite mention, but there are things that are happening in my life right now, y'all, where I was worried when the Lord told me that I had to go back into healthcare. Y'all know I had applied for my nursing license a couple of times. Thank you, dearest one. I had applied for my nursing license a couple of times in California. I had completely surrendered it. I was like, I'm done with it. I'm not finna keep fighting with this. And sure enough, the Lord says, you gonna go where I tell you to go. So now I'm back in the process of getting my nursing license back, y'all. And even if, and I'll say this, I'm already in the process, but even if the Lord decided that's not the direction he wants me to take, you know what? I'm still good with it. But when I tell you that he has made a way for everything to be paid for me to get my nursing license back, till you just can't even make it up. When I talk about purpose and calling and really following God's plan for your life, y'all, he will give you the resources. What you were trying to figure out on your own, he will bless you in ways that he's like, when he says he got it, he got it. When he says that you don't have to try to figure it out, he will figure it out. It is a true story. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to work, I'm gonna have to do this, I'm gonna have to do that. And the Lord was like, I've already taken care of this. I just need you to keep walking this way. I just need you to keep moving in this direction. And so y'all know I am big on giving glory to God and telling people about the things that God will do in your life. And so for me, this is the reintroduction of, hey, y'all, we continue in this journey. Wherever you are in your life, wherever you see this message, wherever you tap in with us, just know that if you're in the middle of your wilderness season, the wilderness doesn't last forever. We can come out of the wilderness once we decide that we don't need to be in control anymore and just allow the Lord to show us the path that he wants us to walk. My wilderness season lasted 2.5 years. Can't nobody tell me about the wilderness. Because when in the wilderness, the Lord provided. I maybe didn't have everything that I wanted, but I had everything that I needed. And for many of you, I'm hearing that there are people, for some of you, there are people who are getting ready to be blessed because of the fact that they're attached to you. But there are also people that the Lord is getting ready to remove because they're not going to be a part of your blessing. They're not going to be a part. They're not going to sit at your table, this table that you have worked so hard to build with the Lord. They're not going to sit at that table, because the Lord is going to remove manipulators. He's going to remove users. He's going to remove people that don't deserve a part of this blessing he's getting ready to give you. You not finna be up here. This is a season of receiving, and that's what I literally just heard a message where he was talking about. This is your season of receiving the harvest, receiving because of the things that you've endured. For some of you, you've had to move. You had to let everything go. He's removing people out of your life. He's removing relationships. Whatever he had to remove from your life, this is the season where he's going to restore it. And it's Job, right? It's going to be more. It's Ephesians 3:20, 7 times what you lost. The things that the Lord is blessing me with now is more than I had that I let go of when he told me to let it go. This story is not specific to my life. It's simply a way for you to understand that if he will do it, and I have said this, if he will do it in my life, he will do it in yours. It ain't nothing special about me. I'm just trying to be obedient to the word of God and to what he's asking me to do. It's not just my life that he will increase. It's not just me that he will multiply blessings in. There's nothing special about me. It's simply you following the plan that God has for your life. And it may not come in the timing that you want, but God knows exactly when to give you what it is that you need in your life, y'all. So I wanted to share that. Y'all know I'm big on sharing the blessings of God. Some people be like, oh, don't tell this, don't tell that. Y'all know I'm not here for that. I'm here to give glory to God, because all I did was try to listen and obey. I still get it wrong. I'm still not perfect. I still mess up. And the Lord keeps blessing me. And this is also for people. Come on, God. This is also for people who, I had this talk with someone the other day. You know, I have my cards. I read my cards. I'm going to give my messages with my cards. And it's funny how people will think that you're of the devil or whatever you want, however you want to say that. But yet here God is blessing me. So when I tell you that the Lord will use you as an example to encourage other people in unique ways, in different ways, people can call me witches. I don't care about none of that, baby, because the Lord is in a blessing season. So your gifts will make room for you. Okay? Your gifts will make room for you. And many of you are in the season where your gifts are making room for you. Even if your gifts don't look like other people's gifts, even if your gifts that people don't understand why would the Lord use you in that way. People have called it witchcraft, heresy, blasphemy, whatever you want to call it. And baby, the Lord is still blessing me, tarot cards and all. Okay, so don't let anyone discourage you from the way that the Lord is using you. Many years ago, that was one of the biggest parts of my assignment, was to show up and serve God in the way that he told me to serve in the kingdom. And when you are authentic that way and you are listening to God and not people, he will bless the work of your hands. So many of you are getting ready to start. It's like that understanding that when you are not trying to make people understand you or respect you or not look at you a certain type of way, as long as you're good with God and the way that he's telling you to show up, everybody else they'll have to be all right. Okay, so I don't know who needed that part of the message, but I wanted to share that with y'all. The Lord told me to go live and give this part of the message just so that you understand that the Lord will start blessing you, and your blessings are going to come at different times and in different ways. You never know how the Lord is going to show up for you, but he will show up. He will. There are other things, other blessings. Many of you are getting ready to be a blessing in other people's lives as well, and you didn't even know it. It's some folks, but this is also a time of discernment. So make sure that you're praying for increased discernment. What you mean? For some of you, what you like fell off. For some of y'all, it's like the same people that were laughing at you, laughing at your pain, laughing at your downfall. And I've said it before, the Lord's finna make, he finna make a believer out of some people simply because they didn't believe that you were going to come out of the situation. Many of you having people that continue to come up against you, come up against your purpose and your destiny. It's some folks finding out that they're not as strong as they thought they were. They may have thought their magic, their witchcraft, their spells and all of that were actually working on you, but the Lord is getting ready to show them that they're not more powerful than him. I don't know who needed that part of the message. You'll know if it's for you, but there's some people who thought that they were going to continue to keep coming up against you, and the Lord's going to set some people down somewhere, because ain't no play about it. Ain't no play about it. Spirit and them is not, they not in the playing season, baby. Y'all ain't. And we are so happy, so grateful. That Spirit is not in a playing season. So think it not strange when your ancestors showing up in full force. I heard that when your ancestors, your spirit team showing up in full force, because they're not playing in this season. Yes, you're getting ready to start seeing people get some karma. We don't wish it on them, but it's gonna happen, because there were people who continue to play in God's face, not yours, because many of you don't even know who these people are. But the Lord's gonna show them. So blessings, faith, and favor to them, and may they receive everything that God wants them to have. But just know that this is your season, y'all. This is the season of understanding. Make sure you're praying for increased discernment. And many of you, it's testimony time. Come on, testimony time. Testimony time. It is testimony time, right? Where the Lord is getting ready to release you to really go back out and do the work and be the light in people's lives, because it's needed. Hence him allowing me to come up back on here and start sharing these messages and sharing the blessings, right? So anyway, that's it. That's all I got. Lord, I hope this helps somebody. I don't know still, y'all, what schedule I'm going to be on, because my schedule is still cray. I be working, y'all, for real. Like, I be working. And even though I'm off on weekends, I still be working on the weekends some days. So just turn your notifications on so you're notified anytime I go live or post a video. Yes, I'm going to try to download this once it's available and put it up on YouTube. I'm definitely going to try to do that. I do have Wi-Fi in my apartment. I ain't got no TV, but I do have Wi-Fi. But so I'll try to download it once it's available and put it up on YouTube. I'm only on my phone, so my laptop and stuff are in the house. So yeah, hopefully I'll try to be on here at least once a week. I still got to go home today and record some messages, because I only did like half of the zodiac signs this week, so I still have to do that. But just saying, right? I have meant these messages. Thank you for coming on and sharing your journey. Thank you so much, dearest one. Thank you so much, y'all. One thing I am excited about, I am going to put my website back up. I am going to start back making like all the things that I learned how to do in the car, my glosses, the t-shirts, just everything. It was just a moment where the Lord took me down to the bare bones, the bare minimum, in order for him to really say, okay, now it's time for you to put that back up. So I am going to put my website back up. I'm going to have space now to start back creating. I'm going to be adding some things to the things that I already have. And so y'all stay tuned for that. Things that I really couldn't do. For many of you, come on, that's speaking of funding. For many of you, it's like the understanding that the Lord is going to bless you with resources to fund your vision, right? That is the one thing I do have. I actually have, because I made, I don't know how many of them. So I do have blessing and anointing oil still. That's the only thing that I have made right now, y'all. I hadn't made any makeup or lip gloss, eyeshadow, none of that in the longest time. It's probably been a year since it's been over a year, huh? Yeah, child, it's been over a year since I was able to do anything, but now I have space for it. To where I'll actually be able to create and store. I told y'all before, like, once I'm able to get inventory, it's a lot, y'all. It's a lot. But one step at a time, one piece at a time. I definitely am bringing the anointing oil. I still have that. I'm definitely doing that. My website will be back up in a minute. I just had to get some things together, but the Lord is getting ready to fund. I receive it, getting ready to fund somebody's vision as well. And he will bless you with a job in order to fund the vision. And so me knowing what I know now, what I didn't know back in 2022, I guess it was, when I decided I was going to become an entrepreneur or what have you, I didn't know then. I didn't have no understanding then. So all the things that I've prayed for, insofar as getting my businesses up and running, he's put me in a position to be able to do that and to have a space where I can keep everything. So it's a lot, y'all. It's a lot. So y'all stay tuned. Thank y'all so much for those of you who have supported. I am truly grateful. If you would like to support, my link is my cash. Come on, Jesus, he has you now. Indeed and amen. We receive it, Lord. We receive that. He definitely does. I got a confirmation of that today. I was worried about something. I ain't gonna say that. I was worried about something, and it was like almost immediately the Lord gave me a confirmation, like, look, I got this. I need you to stop worrying and just do what I told you to do. So I don't know if you're worried about something or the way that something is going to work out for you, but man, the Lord really is in a blessing season. And I just pray every time I come on here, y'all, I just pray that this is just encouraging someone on their journey. You never know how long it's going to take, but if you'll just stay faithful, stay prayed up, and just keep on believing, man, the Lord will bring you out. He will bring you out. So thank God for God. He has brought me out of some situations and removed me from things that were no longer serving me or my highest purpose. I am still going to be using cards, but again, I had to come wash clothes. My clothes are done now, so I'm finna get ready to go get my clothes and go hang them up because I got to go back to work tomorrow. But he will bring you out. So I just pray that this is encouragement. Thank y'all so much for sharing the live, sharing the love, so that someone can be encouraged by not just my journey, but your own as well. For those of you who are called to share and give your testimony. It's been a journey, y'all. It's been a journey, but the Lord is just getting started. So I'm grateful for that. I'm definitely grateful for that, to be able to, some of you, it's like your creativity is getting ready to come back as well. We receive it. I know I went through a whole, I know it's been over a year. When was it, child? I don't even know when the last time was that I made makeup. I have no idea, y'all. It's been that long. I just had other things to do. It was just when things started moving, they started moving. So I'm grateful to be in my own place and space and be able to start back creating again. Who's going to get a commercial? Somebody got some, which part? I could tell that, child, somebody, I don't know. You may not think that people are paying attention to what you got going on, but I've been getting this message, and I don't know who this is for, but it's like you got eyes on you and you don't even know it. Like, there are people who have really been keeping up with your journey, and going to be trying to, not studying, but just figure out how you did it, and you didn't really do it. God did it, right? So there are people who are going to, who are going to be inspired by your story, who are going to be, want to know the blueprint and the recipe, like, how'd you do it? Prayer, fasting. I got to do a fast, y'all. I think I'm supposed to be fasting next week, because I still be fasting. I ain't fasted in, it's been a couple months, but I did do a fast. Matter of fact, I did a fast right around my birthday. So I've still been fasting, but I need to do another fast. Which part? Somebody might start back going to church. I have been to church 2 times since I've been here. One place I'll definitely be going back, but the other place I will not. I just wasn't feeling it. It wasn't resonating in my spirituals. No offense to it, but it just wasn't for me. But I actually went to church, y'all, and y'all know that's not something I was doing, but I did go to church. If you haven't been in, reading the Bible or doing your Bible study the way you have, it's starting to come back around. And yes, some of us are going to be called to get up a little earlier in the morning to spend that time with God. I've still been doing my Bible study a lot of times at work, but it may be something that the Lord is calling you to step back into and really, strengthen. 888 is going to be a number for somebody that may be a significant number. Y'all, I have messages, so many, I don't think I'll ever get through all of them. I might not even try to go backwards, because there's so many messages that I have not been able to release. Hey, love, because, hey, dearest one, there's so many messages that it's just because the Lord didn't stop speaking to me. I just wasn't on here giving the messages. And there are messages that I'm releasing that I recorded months ago, but I'm trying to clear all of them out and just really get all of them put out there so that I can kind of start fresh. And then, because we're not going backwards, right? We're not going backwards. So yeah, sometimes it's like that, because there was no shortage of the Lord talking to me, right? Look, I manifested you today. Thank you so much, dearest one. Thank you so much. Blessings received in return. It was not my intention to go live. Well, it was, but it was like I just was sitting here. It's like, man, I got 40 minutes until my clothes dry, so let me just go live. It literally was just that quick. So y'all keep praying for me. Y'all keep praying for me. One step at a time, one thing at a time, one blessing at a time. That's it. That's it. Thank God for God. One thing, even when I felt like I strayed away, y'all, the Lord never left me. Look, Sandy said, I came looking for you, child. Here I heard you looking for me. Here I go. I'm finna be back on her, but it might just be once a week, y'all, because I'll have to get back into the swing of things, and I don't want to commit to something that I know I'm not ready for. Because, baby, D12, I work, my schedule is crazy. I work like 12-hour shifts. So, and my schedule, because it has switched up recently, y'all, I'll be tired. So, it may just be on the weekends when I go live, but I'll still be trying to put the messages out. So, yeah, yeah, I'm grateful, y'all. Like, man, it has been a journey. I posted that video last night, and I was just sitting in my house looking around, and I wasn't playing, y'all. I got like one chair, right? I got one chair in my living room, and I was just like, man, I need to get some bar stools for my bar, because I do have a bar in my kitchen in lieu of a table. I don't have like a dining, not gonna have like a dining room, but I have a bar where I can put like 3 chairs. And so I was just like, man, look, I was like, man, I can remember when I prayed to be in my own place and just have my own, and you know, and it's crazy. So every time I walk in my house, I'm just like, man, like, it's crazy. It's wild. And there are so many people, y'all. It's like people are not going to, for some of you, it's like people are not going to, the Goodwill, and y'all, baby, let me tell y'all, I've been wearing the Goodwill out, but only for uniforms, because it's the small things. I'm not going to forget. It's the small things. Like, I never thought I would be back in scrubs again, but now I'm back in scrubs, and I got my scrubs from the Goodwill. And so whereas I would be paying $50 for a set of scrubs, I was able to pay like $50, and I got like 5 sets of scrubs. And so I was gonna go to the Goodwill yesterday, but I ain't have the resources. So I say, well, let me just wait, because I need to get some more uniforms. But it's little small things, y'all. Like, I thought that like healthcare was done for me. And now I'm able to go, you know, be back in scrubs again, and I be in scrubs 5 days a week. So I got to get at least 5 more sets of scrubs. And so it's little small things like that. There are people who are not going to understand, because I don't want to forget to say this. There are people who, and this is why, which I mean, like, because that's why the Lord is going to be calling you to release some people that knew you in a previous season. They're not going to, there are people who were the Lord is going to tell you to release with love, because they knew who you were, but not who you are. I hope that made sense for somebody. They knew who you were, but not who you are. And so the people that are coming into your life now are not going to be able to believe your story, the things that you have endured, and the trials that you've had to go through. But the people from the past, they're going to want to remind you of your past. Message. Thank you so much for the blessing, dearest one. Thank you so much. May it be returned to you multiplied. Thank you, honey bunny. I'm truly grateful. Thank you so much. Man, y'all, I'm still set up the same way, y'all. I'm still set up the same way. Like, I'm still grateful. That's all I can say, is I'm still grateful for each and every blessing. So I thank you for that. Man, the people that are coming into your life now, they're not going to believe that you went through what you went through, because of the strength that the Lord has given you, and because of who you are and how you're showing up in the world, with people. There are people who are not going to believe, they're not going to be able to see you. I've had so many people, y'all, because the way the Lord started me telling this story was not on here. It's new people that he's introduced into my life that are now, who know me now, but weren't with me on that part of the journey. So there are people who can't believe that I was homeless until 4.5 months ago. There are people who can't believe that I was really, because they be like, you lying, you weren't really living in your car. No, really I was. Like, for real, for real. But because of the fact that the Lord continues to strengthen you, and because you know who you are in God, and because you know that God has his hand on you, there are people that are going to be in complete disbelief at the transformation that God has done in and with and through you. Because most of the people that I have talked to that the Lord has instructed me to share this story with, y'all, they can't believe it. They can't believe because of, who I am and how the person that they're meeting, they can't believe that that's something, they feel like it's something that I allowed myself to go through. But I have to explain to them, like, no, this was a part of my assignment, because a part of my assignment is to encourage people who are in the low place, who are in the darkness, and to be a light to those people, whatever the situation is that people are going through. And the people who knew you from your past, they're going to try to trigger your weaknesses or trigger your flesh, if you will. And don't get it twisted, it'll happen. Okay, like you can find yourself falling back into old patterns and old habits and old things that you know that you have been delivered from. I'm talking about delivered. But you'll recognize it more quickly than you did before. For some of you, if there are things that it's almost like staying in something more longer than you're supposed to, you're not going to allow yourself to be treated a certain type of way. You're not going to deal with the same thing. Like, I give you on so much time, but once I say I'm done, meant it. So you're not going to allow yourself to stay stuck, because it's, for some of you, this is also about, and this is just what they're giving me now, it's about you're really starting to recognize the patterns. You're going to start to recognize the things. And if you ain't asking the Lord, if you hadn't asked him, ask him, Lord, what is it that I need to learn from this? Because I did this just a couple weeks ago. Lord, what is it that I need to learn? Because I don't want to go through this. This ain't it. This is not what I did all this work for. This is not what I'm supposed to be experiencing. Like, no. And he'll show you. Some of you, oh, can I say that? Y'all being messy. I feel like y'all being messy though. Tell y'all somebody this real quick. You finna get a curveball, okay? The way that something is going to show up in your life, it's going to be the same, but it's going to be oh so different. I can't go into all the details. You gonna literally be like, Lord, daddy, this new. You may not even know how to experience it or to deal with it. But it's going to be like the Lord gonna throw you a curveball, and he gonna be like, now what you gonna do? Y'all, indeed, because I feel like y'all being messy. I'm not gonna go into all the details about it, but I'm telling you right now, you gonna be like, Lord, I don't think I'd have never dealt with this, like what to do. He gonna show you. But once he shows you, it's gonna be up to you to decide how you gonna move forward. It's gonna change your life. All I'm gonna say is, your intuitionals ain't wrong. Some of you are, can I say it like that? Y'all, what's the best way to say? Trust yourself, okay? If it looks like a duck and walks like a duck, don't be trying to convince yourself that you crazy. Because you're going to be like, there's no way that this is what it is. And the Lord is going to keep on putting keep on putting the examples. He going to keep on giving you the confirmations. This is where you got to learn to trust your spirituals now. I'm telling somebody, maybe I don't know, but just, you got to trust yourself. This one of them seasons where you going to ask, because it's going to be something. It's going to be crazy. It's going to seem like it's a little cray-crayness. But the Lord going to keep showing you that very same thing to let you know that you're not crazy. You know what you know. You picked up on what you picked up on, and you going to have to decide how you deal with it from there. That's it. I ain't gonna say nothing else, because it's, first of all, it's still too much. It's still too much, and I can't be bothered with that. But you gonna know, because your spirituals are gonna be disturbed. Okay, they're going to be in disarray, and because you gonna start trying to convince yourself that you crazy, and spirit and them gonna keep telling you that you're not crazy. You know what you know, and they're gonna keep on putting the confirmations in your face. And I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave that right there. So, Lord, I hope this helps somebody. You ain't crazy. You know what you know. So you don't be trying to convince yourself that you crazy and you don't see what you see, hear what you hear, and know what you know. Okay, you had heard what spirit and them said. You had heard it. Okay, but anyway, that's all I got. Lord, I hope this helps somebody. Let me go get my clothes, y'all. Hopefully the next time that I'm giving this message or give the message, I will be at home. But like I said, I just happen to have some time since my clothes were in the dryer. Y'all, I can't wait to get a wash and dryer. My God, it's been so many years. Probably about, oh Lord, it's been over 8 years, almost 9. Okay. Look, I'm talking about your spirituals. They ain't gonna fail you, but I promise you, we be trying to convince ourselves of crazy stuff, or that we don't see what we see and know what we know. We be knowing. So some of y'all spirit names is finna to be so excited, because you're gonna know exactly what this is about, and then they finna just start dropping blessings in your lap. But anyway, that's all I got. Y'all, hydrate your soul and things. Drink your water. Say your gratitude. Have a fantastic and an amazing rest of y'all Sunday. Thank y'all so much for all the likes, the shares, the comments, the subscribes, the love, the energy. I'm so truly grateful. I will see y'all on the next one, probably next weekend. But if I'm able, no, it'll probably be next weekend, because I'm Monday through Friday. So I will see y'all on the next one. I love y'all in real life. I'll see y'all next time. Love y'all. Thank y'all. Bye.